just to play devil's advocate for a second, I think, just to kind of jump on to Tom, what you were saying, are there any lessons learned that we can glean from best practices that are out there right now that can inform what the consultant is doing, putting the feasibility study together? Now, I'm not so sure we should just kind of throw that out at this point. Yeah, maybe what we need to do first is define, okay, what are the questions that would inform the best practices that we want to look at? But I think if there are any lessons out there that we can learn that can inform what we're doing, I don't think we should shut them out for another 5 to 6 months.
George, maybe you can help us a little bit about other towns that have done these kinds of discussions. And the studies that were done at, maybe the best way I can articulate, what level of generality were they done at?
Well, I tend to agree with what the majority of the committee seems to be headed here as far as, and the fact that you can do an evaluation of the best service that any municipality can provide, be it a consolidation of this or any other municipality, and never be able to achieve that or not be able to afford it if it were achievable. I think your goal here is to take a look at what is currently offered by the municipalities, the service levels, the personnel available, that kind of thing, and see how that fits together in providing the current level of service that each municipality is getting. I mean, yes, it's a laudable goal to take this process and turn it into better, no question about it. But I think the goal here is to take a look at what's already in place and make sure that in the consolidation of these two communities, the service level is at least the same. I think that's what you want to achieve.
Well, I think we're making, and this is just my opinion, but I think we're making conclusions on something that we haven't gotten information on. I mean, we haven't decided who we want to be if we decide to get married. I mean, what is it that this, if we decide that we want to merge or consolidate Merchantville and Cherry Hill, there are some of the things that are inherent in Merchantville that we like and maybe in this new marriage we want to keep, and vice versa. So I think first we need to do the study. I mean, figure out what we want and what the best questions are, and then all of this other stuff comes afterwards. But I think we're sort of putting the cart before the horse here. We're spending a lot of time as if the marriage has taken place, and we first need to decide whether or not we're going forward with the engagement. And
I agree with that. I mean, that would be part of the process, right, is to identify what elements of each community you clearly want to see retained, right, in the joining of the two.
Okay. Other comments? Something we had a good, rich discussion on guiding our subcommittee to work with. That they're both, I think, both ex-ante law professors would say the cost of putting the study together. We have to be mindful of that, right, and that we have no governmental source of revenue currently for that study. So if we wanted to do, I'm doing this for exaggeration, $1 million study of the best municipal practices in New Jersey, and how that would affect a potential consolidation of the two communities, that simply isn't possible. We have to be respectful of the line between, I think as George said, what would be the ongoing responsibilities of municipal government to manage the resources, but we oughtn't be too cabined in as not having any imagination about about what a consolidated community would look like, and what are, I think this is a very key point, what are the key drivers for each community, and we ought to be, as we go down the road of thinking about that, what would the fiscal implications be of key drivers for each community as we go forward.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some go, no-goes that if we come back with a certain item, Cherry Hill's gonna say absolutely not. The same way there are certain things that are on the table that are deal breakers. And I think that we need to look at that, 360 feet view at this stage and identify what we're after without making the assumption there's a consolidation. So,
and remember, at the end of the day, a supermajority, right, of each group needs to vote to go forward. So we have to be, honestly, as we should anyway, but particularly respectful of the views of each community as we go forward to the key issues. So let's talk a little bit about our work plan going forward from here. I have a concern. Our next scheduled meeting is
February 7th.
Seems to me that it might be a good idea to postpone that meeting, to take our time, to have our subcommittee work to get us more information on an RFP. Would also give us an opportunity to show whatever tweaks there are on the RFP to the municipal governments of each place to see if they have any comments, because I'm also think we could get some wisdom back from the municipal governments that we're working with, what their hot buttons would be, and that process will take some time. So my thought, and I'm in my former life, I was a maniacal mergers and acquisitions lawyer going to closing dates. But that isn't this kind of process. It's got to be a collaborative, community-based, open process. So it seemed to me it would make more sense if we didn't have a meeting in February, that we let this process of putting the RFP together ferment a bit, and then get back together with the date we have in March.
Right. It'll be the first Tuesday in March, and I'm not sure whether it's a calendar, 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
March, I have.
It was March
6th. Okay.
Is the 6th not the 7th?
Right.
Uh,
Is it leap year?